the Gaussian random variable x, the Gaussian random variable x having the mean, the Gaussian random variable x having the mean having the mean 73.16, having the mean 73.16, and a standard deviation of okay, so 20.35. What is the probability that x occurs between 50 and 80. 50 and 80. What is the probability that x occurs between 50 and 80? A Gaussian random variable x is having the mean of, okay, mean nu x is equal to 73.16 and standard deviation sigma x is equal to 20.35. What is the probability that x occurs between the 50 and 80 here? So that is, we need to find out the probability that 50 is less than x is less than 80. We need to find out here. Okay, so we need to find out that one here. So let us do as per the concept what we are seeing in the last class here. So just I'm going to directly go for the formula. The concept, this is a concept here. Last class I taught here. So directly I will take this value and I'll substitute in the x2, x1, everything I'm going to substitute here, and we'll find the values directly here. Okay, so done, right? Any doubts in this one? So first problem I clearly explained. Second problem or not, I'll do directly. So it is phi of this is nothing but this is x2 is 80 and x1 is 50. Okay, so mean is 73.16 and standard deviation sigma x is, okay, 20.35. So it is x2 minus nu x. So for your reference, I'm the formula is here only. You can see the formula. Okay, the formula is here. These two are the formulas here. So x2 is this is x2 minus nu x. So x2 is 80 minus nu x is 73.16. 73.16 divided by 20.35. 20.35 minus phi of x1 is 50 minus 73.16 divided by 20.35 that is a standard deviation here. Okay, standard deviation. Okay, so now let us find out the value of this one here. So let us do the calculation. I think everyone is having the calculator. Do it fastly. Do it fast. Okay, so 80 minus 73.16. Okay, so divided by 20.35. So take the decimal values accurately. So this will become phi of 0.34 will get here. Got everyone? So it's a
Yes, sir.
80 minus 73.16. Okay, so divided by 20.35. So this has become 0.34 minus phi of, so 50 minus 73.16. So how much you got answer? 20.35 divided by 20 point. So it is minus 1.14.
Yes.
Or you got some more decimal values, accurate decimal values. This is the answer. Or you got some more decimal values?
No, sir. Approximate same, sir.
Approximately you got the same thing. Okay.
From address, sir.
Can you repeat?
No, sir. Same answer.
Same answer you got. Okay, fine. Okay, so now let us look into the table here. So in the table, we can find out like this here. So phi of 0.34 is the limit. So 0.3 is here. At the location 0.4 here. So we have the value of this one. So this is the table of the normalized Gaussian random variable here. Normalized Gaussian random variable. So 0.3 at 0.04 is nothing but 0.34. The value is nothing but, I think in the last class I have shared the this one I have shared here. The normalized Gaussian random variable table I have shared here. So you need to use for your IA also. Okay. So 0.6331 you will get here. And pi of minus 1.14 is there. So this is nothing but 1 minus this answer we are going to take here. So I told in the last class how to take this one. So 1.14 is there. This is 1.1. So at 1.1 is here. 1.1. So I think it's not visible because the letters are too small. So 1.1 at 0.04 it is 0.8729 you will get here. Okay. So this one you can take it as 1 minus 0.8729 you can take here. Okay, so because whenever the minus will be there, you can take 1 minus of whatever the answer you are going to get here. So it is the 1.14. So the answer is 0.8729. 0.8729. So do the calculation here.
0.1271.
Total answer for this one.
0.1271.
Okay, so total answer is 0.1271 will get. No, sorry, this answer is 1271. No? So 0.6331.
Not total
Yeah.
answer.
Yeah. I got. Yeah. So what is the total answer you get?
0.506, sir.
Yeah. Can you repeat me? 0.503.
0.506.
Total answer is 0.506.
Yeah. Very good. Okay. Fine. The probability that it can take the values. This is the probability that it will take the value. Yeah. Got it. No. So we'll take the next problem. Any doubts? Any doubts? No doubts.
No, sir.
Yeah, we'll go for the next problem. Next, similar kind of problems they asked in the model question paper. Okay, so we'll take the next problem. So you can take a Gaussian random variable. Okay, a Gaussian random variable. So the problem number 23, I guess. Okay, 24. So you can do this as homework here. A Gaussian random variable. Gaussian random variable. Okay, so the mean nu x is equal to 73.16. The mean nu x is equal to 73.16, and sigma x, the standard deviation, is equal to 20.35. 20.35. Evaluate the probability that 53.5 is less than x is less than 80.9. Okay, so do this as homework here. So this is similar to the previous problem. You can do this as homework here. Okay. So done. So do this problem as homework here. The answer is very simple. Answer will get here. So it's similar to the previous one. Okay. So take the next problem. It's so important here. Done. Okay.
Yes,
So
sir.
take the next problem. A dimension and its tolerance. A dimension and its tolerance are specified to be y is equal to 0.75 plus or minus 0.02. Sorry, 0.002. Y is equal to 0.75 plus or minus 0.002. Full stop. Y is a Gaussian random variable. Y is a Gaussian random variable with the mean of 0.751 and standard deviation sigma y is equal to standard deviation sigma is equal to 0.0013. Estimate the percentage of realizations of y that will be within the tolerance range. Within the tolerance range. That will be within the tolerance range. So I think you can see this question. Okay, so take the question. Okay, so I'll repeat the problem. It is being given that the dimension and tolerance. So for example, if you're going to take the any resistor component here, the tolerance will be given plus or minus 5%. For example, if you take 1 kilo ohm resistor, plus or minus 5% is the thing, but so it will be plus 50 ohms will be there or minus 50 ohms will be there. So it may be 1 kilo or it 950 ohm will be there. So like that it is given here. A dimension of and its tolerance are specified to be. So I can take the range. So 0.75 plus 0.00 it will take here, or it will take the range 0.75 minus 00 it will take here. Okay, so these are y, it can take the two ranges it will take here. So y is a Gaussian random variable, it is given. So with having the mean this one and the standard deviation will be this one here. So we need to find out what is the percentage of realization that y that will be within this tolerance area. So what is the y percentage that, so that whatever the components that is going to be manufactured is going to lie within this tolerance range here. Okay, so got the concept here, no? So it has been given the y can take the value plus or minus this value here. So that is, if I'm going to take the minus value, so 0.75 minus 0.002, if I take that value, so it will become 0.75 minus 0.002 if you take here. So the value you're going to get as, so how much you get here? So you can keep your calculator in the scientific mode here, so that you can give some 3 decimal values. Okay, so this will become 0.748 you'll get here. Okay, so correct now. So we need to find out the what is the probability that 0.748, what is the probability that the y can take the, which is going to lie between these two tolerance range here. Okay, so 0.75, so this will become 0.752. So we need to find out what is the percentage that the dimension tolerance is going to lie within this tolerance range here. We need to find out that one here. So got the concept here now? So this means that y can take the x1, the lowest value will be the x1 and the highest value will be the x2 will be there here. Okay, so we need to find out this one, we need to find out here. So got it? So if you want, I'll write in steps here. So probability that 0.75 minus 0.002 less than y less than the 0.75 plus 0.002. Okay, so if you're going to do, we'll get this answer here. So let us find out that probability by using the Gaussian random variable here. So it is 0.748. You can keep your calculator in the scientific range with the 2 or 3 decimal values. You can keep it here so that we'll get the accurate answer we'll get here. If you keep it in normal, the answer will not be same. So let us find out this one. So x2 is the thing, but this one 0.752 minus the mean of that one is, it is given 0.751. So divided by the variance, sorry, the standard deviation 0013. Okay, so minus pi of x1 is 0.748 minus 0.751. So divided by 0.0013. Okay, so find the value for this one. Understood now? Any doubts in this one? So you can keep your calculator in the scientific mode here, so that we'll be having we'll get some accurate answer. So divided by 0.0013. So this will become 0.769 will get first one. We got the answer 0.769. What's the answer we'll get here? Got the answer, everyone? Done? Do the calculation, tell me the answer, how much you'll get here. Hmm? Got the answer?
Minus 1.54.
Which one's the total answer? So this will be, you'll get the same answer, no? 0.752 minus 0.75 divided by 0.013 minus 5 of. Doing, everyone? So do this one, otherwise you can't find out. So this will become minus 0.2231, no? How much you'll get? This answer is correct, minus 0.769. Can I get the answer?
Sir, it's 1.538, sir.
This one?
Correct, sir.
1.58 or which value? That value you will get here. 1.538, huh? So this will become equal to 5 of. So the probability that how much? 1 point. Can you repeat the answer? Can you repeat the answer? 1 point.
No, sir. Previous answer, right, sir. You wrote whatever you wrote, right.
Which one?
0.769.
So can anybody tell me what the answer will get here?
0.769, sir.
0.769. Sure, correct.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Minus the next one is 5 of.
Minus 0.230.
0.230.
231.
0.231. Okay, so check this one. Everyone got the same answer. Everyone got the same answer, right? Okay, so let us find out the answer here. Let us find the in the table. So 0.769. So to find the value of 0.769. Okay, so 0.76 we have here. So 0.7 is it and 0.76 here it is there here. Again, I think you are having the table. So 0.7 and 6 is there. So it will become, we have the value of 0.76. So this will become equal to the 0.76. It is 0.7764. Okay, so next we have the value for 0.77 is there here. 0.769 is not there. Okay, so let us take the value of 0.77. Okay, 0.77 is nothing but it is 0.7794 will get here. So 0.7794. The difference of these two will be the 30 is there. The difference of these two is the 30 is there. And we need to find the value for the 0.769. We need to find out here. 769 means let us multiply this one with the 9 here. Okay, multiply this one with the 9. So 9 3s are 27 will get here. 9 3s are 27 will get here. So let us add this to this value here. 0.7764. Okay, so you got the concept, you know how to find out the exact value. Okay, so this is 5 of 0.76. The value is 0.7764 and 27. Let us add here. So this will become 7 plus 4 11. So it will become 9. 0.7791 will get here. Got the answer here? 0.769. The answer will be 0.7791. You got the answer, no? The difference of these two is, so
Yes,
30
sir.
points is there. So multiply, we want it's a 9 year. So let us multiply 9% to this one. The 9% of 90% of 30 is the TMAT. It's a 27 year. So let us add 27 to this one. So it will become 0.7791 will get here. So similarly, to find the value of minus 0.231. So this is the TMAT 1 minus 5 of 0.231 here. Okay. So let us find the value of pi of 0.23 because 231 is not there. Pi of 0.23 is the TMAT. So it will be 0.5910. 0.5910. So phi of 0.24 is, phi of 0.24 is, so it is 0.5948. So 0.5948. Okay, the difference of these two is the TMAT. So 38 points is, so 38 points difference is there here. So here it is 1 is there. Multiply with the 10% of that one. So 10%. Okay, multiply with the 10%. So it will become equal to the 3.8 will get here. So let us add 3 to the this one answer here. So let us add so pi of 0.23 is the TMAT 0.5910 plus 3. Let us add here. So this will become 0.5913. So this will become equal to the, this will give the value of phi of 0.231 here. Got the answer here, right? So now let us find the value for this one. So this is 1 minus. Any doubts? So how much you get? 1 minus 0.5913. So 1 minus 0.5913. So this will become equal to the 0.409.
0.48.
0.
0.408.
408. Okay.
409.
409 will get. Okay, good. Okay. So we'll get this one here. So yeah. So let us find out the probability here. So the probability that 0.748 less than y less than
4087 for 9.
4087. Okay, now correct now. Okay, so this one you can take it as 0.7791 minus 0.4087. So what's the answer we'll get here? 4087. What's the answer we'll get?
$0.3704.
0.3704.
37404. So in terms of the percentage, we can take this one as a 37%. We can take here 37%. Okay, 37% you can take here. So done. So like this, we can find out the probability of the factors. We can find out like this here. Okay. Actually, there is some calculation mistakes is there, I guess. Okay, so we can verify the calculations part here. Okay, so I'll give the concept. I think in your calculator you have to keep the scientific mode properly. So otherwise, there's some decimal points you are going to miss here. So you can recalculate this one. So recalculate this one. Okay, so the answer. So this is actually the problem number 67 in the exercise problem here. So this is the problem number 67. Okay, the exercise problem of the textbook. It is the prescribed textbook here. Yeah, this is the problem number 67. You can see this one. No? This is a 67 of the prescribed textbook here. The answer it has been given in the this one. It is the 67% they given here. So you can check the calculation once here. Okay, now so calculations check madi because the answer it is given in the exercise solution is it is 67. It has been percentage they are given here. So you do check the answer calculations. You do check once here. Okay, so this is a 67 problem. Okay, So done, right? So next I'll take two more problems quickly. I'll give this range I'm going to give. So you can do the remaining calculation part. You can take care of doing this one. Okay. Take the next problem. The problem number 26. Okay. A production drawing specifies. A production drawing specifies. A production drawing specifies. A production drawing specifies a dimension of a dimension on a PCB. PCB is nothing but the printed circuit board. PCB has 0.75 plus or minus 0.002. 0.75 plus or minus 0.002. Okay. Oh, okay. So I'll repeat some stories there. I'll repeat the story here. So you can refer the question number 68 in the textbook here. So this is a exercise problem 68 here. So I'll repeat the list of the story. Assume that the process that manufactures the devices. Assume that the process that manufactures the devices is such that the dimension is a Gaussian random variable y, and that manufacture process is slightly inaccurate. So what they given is, so it is going to manufacture the these PCBs. Okay, so and it is going to be assumed as a Gaussian random variable y, and these dimensions are slightly that is inaccurate. They're given here. Okay, and they're given the mean of this one. So we can take the mean nu y is given, like mean nu y is equal to 0.7505. 0.7505. Okay, and standard deviation sigma y is equal to 0.0014 centimeter. 0014 centimeter. Okay, so the question I'll tell, what percentage of PCBs? What percentage of PCBs have the dimension within the specified region, within the specified tolerance limits? Specified tolerance limits. Okay, so we need to find out what is the tolerance, which is the PCBs that have dimensions within this specified tolerance limits here. Specified tolerance limits. Okay, so this is same as the previous problem what I did here. So it is 0.75 minus 0.002 is less than y, is less than 0.75 plus 0.002. Okay, so this is 0.75 minus 0.002 is nothing but, so it will become 0.748 will get here. Okay, so less than y, less than 0.752 will get here. So this is half pi of y2 minus y1, that is 0.752 minus 0.7505. So divided by 0.0014. This minus this one. So it is phi of the x1 value is 748 minus 0.7505 divided by 0.0014. Okay, so you can do the rest of the calculation part. You can do it here. Okay, rest of the calculation part you can do that one as a homework here. Okay, so can you do the remaining part as a homework?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so it is similar to the previous problems what we did. Okay, so I'll take one more assignment problem. I'll take here. In the assignment I given one, there's one as a problem I given.
So in previous problem.
No, I didn't get you. Your voice is breaking.
In previous problem,
Previous problem.
In the last problem, you have taken value for 0.23. Not this problem, sir.
Previous problem, no?
Previous one.
Okay. Problem number 25. This problem. Can you repeat?
Sir, there for 2.31.
Okay.
Yes, sir. 2.31, sir. You have taken for sir 5 of minus 2.31, sir.
Yeah, 5 of minus 0.231, no? 2.31 or minus
Next
0.231?
step, sir.
This is minus 2.31, no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I think I did the mistake here. So I can redo. I think this is the point where we did the mistake.
And that decimal value taken, sir, from the table, that is not 0.5948, sir. It is 0.9896.
This is 2.31, no? This one is 2.31.
Yes, sir.
No,
Okay,
sir,
then
0.2.
Then the value of decimal values will change here. So it is 2.3 means it is 2.31 means it is having the value 0.9893 will be there. So you can check the calculation once again. That's why I told you. Okay, so very good. Okay, you can recheck the calculations once again, everyone, and check repeat the problem here with the calculations. Okay, so kindly do that one. So thank you. Yeah, thank you very much. Okay, so done. So do this one. Recheck the calculations and do that one. So keep your calculator in the scientific mode with some 2 or 3 decimal values here. Okay. So this problem, you can do this as the homework here. I'll take the next one assignment problem I have given here. I'll take that this is similar to this similar kind here. Okay. So take the assignment problem. I'll tell the assignment problem. A company produces a company produces the resistor. A company produces resistor. A company produces resistors that can be modeled as Gaussian random variable with mean mx is equal to 82 kilo ohm, 8.2 kilo ohm, and standard deviation is equal to sigma x is equal to 615 ohm. Determine the percentage of resistance. Determine the percentage of resistance resistor manufactured within 5% of 8.2 kilo ohm. 8.2 kilo ohm. Also find conditional PDF and mean. Also find conditional PDF and mean. Okay. So here they given that So what are the determine the percentage of the manufacturer with 8% of 5% of 8.2 kilo ohm. So they given, so okay, so they given the mean of the random variable they given here, Gaussian random variable, it is 8.2 kilo ohm they given here, and standard deviation sigma x is equal to 615 ohm they given here. Okay, so we need to find out the 5% of 8.2 kilo ohm we need to find out here. That is plus or minus 5% of 8.2 kilo ohm we need to find out here. So what is the tolerance that okay, the manufacturer resistance are going to lie within the this range of this one here. So 5% of 8.2 kilo ohm is nothing but, so what we can do is, so 8.2 kilo, okay, so minus 8.2 kilo, okay, into 0.05 you can do it here. So 5% is the thing, it's a 5 by 100, 5 by 100 is the element, it's a 0.05 here. So if you're going to do that one, it will become 7.79 will get here. So the range will be, so 8.25 kilo minus 8.2 kilo, sorry, not 8.25, it is 8.2 kilo minus the 5% of this one, 5% of 8.2 kilo less than the x is less than the 8.2 kilo plus 5% of the 8.2 kilo will get here. Okay, so if you're going to take this one, how to find out the 5% is the thing, but you can take in the calculator 8.2 kilo minus 8.2 kilo into 0.005 here. 5% is the thing, but so okay, so 5% is the thing, but it is 5 divided by 100. No, 5 divided by 100 is the thing, but 0.05 will get here, 0.05 here. Okay, so 100 is nothing but 10 to the power of minus 2. If you multiply, you will get this one. So it will become 7.79 is less than x is less than the, okay, if you're going to add that one, if you're going to add, so it will become equal to the 8.61 kilo will get here. Okay, for this probability, you can find the answer here. So 8.61 kilo, that is 7.79 kilo less than x is less than the 8.61 kilo will get here. So then you can do that as the calculation, you can do it here. Done. Okay, so you can do this as homework now. You can find out the percentage here. Okay, so do this as a homework here. So right. Okay, so fine. So this is the end of the module 1 here. So this is the end of the module 1. So in the module 1, we have seen a lot of concepts you have seen here. The same concepts you are going to repeat in the module 2 also here. Okay, so any doubts? You can do this problem as a homework here. So find this one. So do this as a homework here. Okay, so done, right? Any doubts? Any doubts
No,
in this
sir.
one? Okay, fine. I think you understood the concepts very well. You understood here. So the same concepts you are going to repeat for the module 2 also. The same concepts, nothing else here. So this module 2 is nothing but it's a multiple random variables you are going to call here. So it's a multiple random variables. Multiple random variables you are going to call here. So multiple random variables is nothing but, okay. So take care. So done. Okay, fine. So do the previous problem as homework here. So multiple random variables. So in the previous module 1, what are the concepts you have seen is, we have seen the concepts of the CDF we have seen here. The CDF is nothing but fx of something called x here. We have seen the PDF we have seen, that is fx of x. Okay, we have seen the mean here we have seen. So mean, that is called as a nu x, the variance sigma x square, and many concepts you have seen here along with these concepts here. So these are some basic fundamental concepts of CDF, PDF, and all those things here. Okay, so here you can see the random variable. What are the random we are going to consider here is the single random variable we are considered here. Single random variable. Single random variable is nothing but it's a function of the one random variable we are considered here. So random variable is nothing but which can take the values randomly. It is going to take here. So that one you're going to call it as a random variable. So right. So we have seen the concept of the single random variable we have seen. So multiple random variables is nothing but, suppose if the number of random variables x is there, no. Suppose if the number of random variables is greater than 1, we are going to call that one as a multiple random variables. You are going to call here multiple random variables. Okay. So if the number of random variables is greater than, we are going to call it as a multiple random variables. For example, if I'm having the two random variables, say I can denote this one as a fxy. So this is called as a fxy of x comma y. I'm going to denote here. So this one is called as a two random variables is there. Two random variables is there. So we are going to call, since it is two is nothing but bi, we can call this one as a bivariate random variable you are going to call here. So bivariate random variable you are going to call here. Bi is nothing but two here. So since two variables are there, we can call this one as a bivariate random variable we are going to call here. Okay, so getting it right. Suppose if you have more than 2 years there, you're going to call that one as the multiple random variables you are going to call here. Multiple random variables is nothing but fx1, x2, x3, and so on up to the xn. Okay, so here x1, x2 up to the xn. We are going to call this one as the multiple random variables you are going to call here. Multiple random variables you are going to call here. Okay, so you got the concept here, no? Okay, so what's the meaning of the multiple random variable? So in the previous module, we have seen single with random variable. If the number of random variables is greater than the one, we are going to call that one as the multiple random variables you are going to call. Suppose if there are two random variables are there, we can denote this one. So you're going to call this one as the bivariate random variable. You're going to call it bivariate. Why it is called bi? Because it's a two variables are there. We can call it as a variate random variable. If it is multiples are there, we can call this one as a multiple random variables you're going to call here. Okay, so in this module, in the module 2, what you're going to see is you're going to see for the bivariate random variables you're going to consider bivariate random variables. Okay, so this one it is also called as a joint random variable. Sometimes it will be called here in some textbooks. This is called as a joint random variables you're going to call joint random variables. So joint is nothing but the two random variables will be considered as a joint random variables. So it is called as a joint random variables also they're going to call here. Okay, so in this model we are going to find out the joint or bivariate CDF of the random variable x and y we are going to find out here, and bivariate PDF you are going to find out here, and the mean, variance, covariance, standard deviation. Okay, everything you are going to find out for the multiple random variables you are going to find out. So that's in the module 2 is area. Okay, so got it the concept here now. So whatever is studied in the random module 1, the same concept you're going to repeat for the two random variables. That's it here, nothing else. And you're going to see some extra topics you're going to see here. Okay, so right. So I'm going to give some important equations I'm going to give here. So rest of the things you can. Okay, so I'm going to give the notes I'm going to give you, so you can make use of the notes here. Okay, so right. So now I'm going to consider two random variables I'm going to consider. So this is called as the fxy. So this is called as a bivariate random variable. Okay, for the single random variable, we have the CDF can be defined like this. The probability that x can take the value less than or equal to x it will take here. We can consider this as a single random variable we are considered here. We can take for the single random variable, CDF is nothing but this is the CDF. For the single random variable, the CDF is this one here. Fx of x is nothing but, so this is a CDF cumulative distribution function. The probability that x can take the value less than x here. Okay, so if the number of random variables is greater than 1, we can call that as a multiple random variables. So for the bivariate random variable, so bivariate random variable, we can define like this: fxy of x comma y. So this will be defined as similar to this fashion. I can define. So since it is a joint probability is nothing but, so two probabilities will be considered. Whenever the product will be there, so there the concept of intersection will come here. Intersection here. So already you've seen in your Venn diagram, everything we have seen in your PUC. Okay, so it will be considered as x is less than or equal to the x. Okay, and intersection of y is less than or equal to the y will be considered here. Okay, so like this we can define the bivariate CDF you are going to define here. Bivariate CDF here. Okay, bivariate CDF will be defined like this here. So done. Now I'm going to take the concepts of the bivariate random variable I'm going to take here. So this is called as the bivariate random variables here. So for this one, we'll find out the CDF, PDF, everything we'll find out here. So you can take the next topic is bivariate cumulative, bivariate cumulative and density functions. The density functions. Bivariate cumulative and density functions. Okay, so what's the meaning of bivariate cumulative and density functions? So under this topic we are going to find out the bivariate cumulative density function. You are going to cumulative distribution function we are going to find out, and we are going to find out the bivariate probability density functions you are going to find out. and we are going to see the properties of these two things. We are going to see the properties here. What are the properties we are applicable for the CDF and the PDF in the previous model? The same properties you are going to extend for the two random variables, that is called as a bivariate random variable. We are going to extend here. Okay, so what is the meaning of bivariate random variable? So the meaning of the bivariate random variable. Suppose if you are going to consider the meaning of bivariate random variable is, suppose if you are going to consider two random variables, one is x and y as the product here. Okay, as the product or as the intersection, if you're going to consider here, you're going to call that one as a bivariate random variables. You're going to call here. If we consider the two random variables at a time, you're going to consider here. At a time you're going to consider, then it is called as a bivariate random variable you're going to call. So previous one is a single random variable. So this one is a bivariate random variable you are going to call here. Okay, so this is called as a bivariate random variable. So the example of bivariate random variable is the suppose let us consider system we are having here. Let us consider the system. In your signals, we have seen the concept of the signals and systems. In the system, assume that we have the two random variables. One is given as the input signal here. Okay, so one is considered as the input for the system here, and other one is considered as the output for the system here. Output for the system. For example, assume that we are going to give the input as a signal we are going to give, and output y you are going to get as some noise you are going to get here. Noise you are going to get here. So at that time, it is required to find out consider these two random variables at a time. Okay, so it is required to consider these two random at a time here. So in order to find out the signal to noise ratio or something like that, so there we are going to make use of the two random variables we are going to consider here. I'm giving just it's as an example here. Okay, as an example, what we consider is, assume we'll be having the system. We are going to give the input as a random variable x, and output you are going to get as a random variable y, as a noise we are going to get here. So sometimes it is to be considered with respect to the input signal and output signal as a signal to noise ratio we need to consider here. So at that time we can make use. At that time we can make use of this bivariate random variable concept you are going to use here. Okay, bivariate random variable concept you are going to use here. Now what we'll see is, let us define the bivariate CDF for this random variables will define here. So already I defined here. I'm going to repeat the same concept again here. Okay, so no confusion, no. Okay, so to be clear, in the previous model, we consider a single random variable. We find the mean PDF, we find the CDF, PDF, mean, everything here. If we consider the random variables more than one, it is called as a multiple random variables, or in particular, if it is two, we can call it as a bivariate random variable. We are going to call here bivariate random variable. Okay, so as an example, if there are multiple random variables are there like this, we can call it as a multiple random variable you are going to call. So in the previous module, for the single random variable, we have seen the CDF we have seen here, and similarly for the multiple random variables,